couple named Christine and Robin Gardner apparently saw the Lancaster bomber flying over Derbyshire in August 2020. 74-year-old Christine was parked up with her husband and a friend in a scenic area in Chatsworth in the UK. When they returned back to their car between 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m, they decided to sit down and enjoy a picnic. As they sat there enjoying their picnic, all of a sudden they could hear the sound of a plane flying overhead, but it wasn't a gradual noise that was approaching from a distance. It was an instant, loud sound of plane engines, like it just popped into existence. It was a Lancaster bomber, and it was flying at treetop level, and it seemed to dip its wings and turn down the valley, when all of a sudden, the Lancaster bomber just simply vanished. It popped back out of existence, and the sound that was coming from the engine also ceased instantly. A little freaked out, Christine and her husband went on to inquire whether there was any Lancaster bombers flying in the area that day. But no one confirmed this to be the case, and even if there was, it still doesn't explain how a plane can simply vanish into thin air. And then they asked around the area they were in, they asked random people, but it seemed that no one had seen this Lancaster flying overhead, something that would have definitely caught your eyes and your ears. To this day, the couple still stand by what they believe they saw that day, even if no one else believes them. After all, the chances of seeing a real Lancaster bomber are quite rare, considering there are only two that are operational and are able to fly. Is it possible that the couple saw another recording of time replay for them to see? And if so, it does not explain why no one else saw the plane. Now, after I read this story, it got me thinking about another story I've heard many years ago about time rifts in the sky, but from the pilot's perspective. I remember reading about one pilot who was flying his plane one day, and he flew over this airbase, and the pilot was really confused by what he was seeing because this airbase should not have existed. The airbase he was looking at existed maybe, I can't remember exactly, but let's say 40 years ago in the past, and since it had been demolished. And he was totally confused by how he was seeing this, but he just went on with his journey. On the way back, it was as if reality had restored itself and the airbase was once again gone, like it should be. Is it possible that that pilot somehow travelled back in time up in the sky and then travelled back to his time on the way back? And if that is so, could the couple have witnessed a time slip? Is it possible that they saw a pilot from World War II who had suddenly been transported into 2020 for the briefest of moments before being sent back to his own time? Maybe. Or is it possible that they actually did see a Lancaster bomber and they were mistaken somehow? Maybe the sun was in their eyes, maybe it went behind a cloud, and due to some kind of freakish optical illusion, they were somehow fooled. Whatever conclusion you land on, you've got to admit, it is a strange story.